future cosplays. uh,
Here we are.
Need to
welcome.
record her doing that.
Yeah, if only we could record her doing that and add it to it. Welcome back, everybody, to the new season of Geek Boots Military Nerds. Here at Geek Boots, we like to tell you all about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Like thinking you're about to end the pandemic and then some shit pops off in Europe. I had to go there.
I mean, at least it's not pandemic.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's a new thing. At least we got a new thing.
The key word is thinking, because I'm seeing the meme pop around of oh god, what's his name? It's so sad that I don't remember his name. Anyway, he's sitting there with a cigarette and he's obviously like, fuck. And the caption reads, when you're about to end the pandemic and Russia pops off World War III. And I'm sitting here reading the meme and I go, who the fuck do you think you are that the pandemic is about to be over? Because the Lord knows that something else is going to happen and then they're going to ramp it up.
We're heading in the endemic now. It's all right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just personally think we're not over yet. We've only been in a couple of years, and most of other viruses and pandemics that we've been in have lasted a lot longer than this one.
Oh, this will last. It's not going away, but
yeah.
We have to move into an endemic now, right? So
yes, endemic. Is that an actual term, or did we just invent that for COVID?
No, that's actual a term.
Oh, okay. Well, I learned something.
I didn't make it up.
Okay.
I'm not that smart.
It's not smart enough to be creative. Is that what you just said about yourself?
I'm dumb.
No. Yeah. Well, everybody, obviously, big prayers to Ukraine and everything that they're going through. This is a military podcast, so please bear in mind that our laughter is just our coping mechanism instead of doing drugs and copious amounts of alcohol and potential suicide. So if you're offended by anything that may happen on this show, on any episode that you may have had, then don't listen to us. I don't know what to tell you. We're back, and this episode is just we haven't really spoken to each other since the week before Hawkeye's season finale, so it's been a minute, and we're just gonna catch up on each other's lives, and you all are welcome to tag along and leave your comments below and what you've been doing in your lives. Why don't we go ahead and start with Mr. Hawkeye, because we didn't get the opportunity to talk about the finale. Tell us about where you've been, what you've entertained yourself with.
Gosh, that was November, right? Or no, December. I guess it ended in December, right?
Was it December? I don't know.
It was right before Christmas.
Time.
Yeah, we went almost to Christmas. We did good.
Yeah, it was December. Yeah.
Time's been blending a little bit.
I think from a cosplay perspective, the last couple of months have been kind of slow. I think not as much goes on in January and February.
Mm-hmm.
Couple of charity events, working on cosplays, right? Getting ready for this busy year. I literally had to make a schedule of all the stuff between all the charity events. I've got 2 charity events this weekend.
Cool.
Photo shoots, conventions. Literally had to make a spreadsheet. I'm already planning into November, trying to get everything down. So it's just it's crazy. But I got a new Hawkeye Age of Ultron coat. That's more screen accurate than the one I wear. So I'm going to debut that tomorrow.
Ooh.
So really just spend a lot of time, kind of prepping and getting ready for this year.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
And of course I loved Hawkeye. I mean, I thought we talked about it already after it finished, but maybe
we didn't get to talk about the finale and overall big picture of, how it all came together.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. I liked the finale. There's a lot going on, but and I'm almost done. Hopefully soon I'll have that costume done. So I thought the ending was good. I'm excited to see where they take it and see what they do with Clint Barton.
Yeah, for real, right? Yeah, for sure. Cosplay Jenamie, throw it over to you. How's life been?
Life's been busy, but good. I got a photo shoot coming up in March. So excited about that. Doing a Fallout photo shoot.
I hope that doesn't happen.
It's terrible. Fake laugh hiding real pain.
You know me, I always got the bad jokes, so.
Yeah, the bad jokes. God damn it.
The dad jokes.
Anyway,
It happens.
as you were saying, Fallout.
Yeah. It's kind of been slow. I've done a few things this year
Mhm.
so far, so I got to play around. Finally got to do my Anastasia cosplay. I had been
Nice.
planning for a while,
I
but
saw that
it
and I was
decided
blown away.
not to snow all of December.
It's funny you say that because when you debuted that, we had a snowstorm. So I was like, oh, this is fitting. A part of me almost wanted to blame you. Like you cosplaying that started the Washington snowstorm.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, right. God. You're in
We had to get our
California. Do
snow
you even know
pri-
what snow is?
It's actually snowed here, like
Has
at my
it?
house.
Wow.
Like half an inch?
We had almost 4 inches of snow. It was weird. Southern Californians are like, what's going on?
What is
Yeah.
this?
It's been a weird year weather-wise.
Yeah.
We
It was
had
29
negatives
degrees here
this
last
we
night.
had we had negatives this week and we never had negatives. Like
I mean, hell.
Palm trees are like 29 degrees. Who lives in this?
Yeah, right.
like it was like 30, I don't know, 33 degrees, something like that today, and it felt warm after the
Mhm.
last 2 days of in the
Yeah.
negatives.
Isn't that
Yeah.
crazy?
And the sun finally came out today. It was great.
When I was stationed in North Dakota, I mean, it's Minot's horrible, and it'd be like
Yeah.
minus, 20 for days, and then it warmed up to 20 degrees and was sunny, and we were outside in shorts and t-shirts playing basketball.
Just laying
But-
there in the sun.
But it was a 40-degree temperature swing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, oh, it's so warm.
I remember, I slightly remember that when I lived in Iceland. I'll say slightly because I was like 6 when I lived in Iceland, but
You've lived in Iceland? I've been
Yeah.
podcasting with you for
Iceland.
how long and I never knew this?
See, we learn.
again,
Tell
it's
me
Iceland's
like,
about it.
green, and Greenland's like icy, right? Like they have their
well,
nose.
Yeah.
Iceland is
The
still
reverse.
about the same as like Alaska.
Yeah,
Okay.
okay.
So it's on the same plane as Alaska. Greenland's a little bit farther north, so it's more, and it's got like the biggest polar ice cap. But
Yeah. Crazy.
Nice.
glacier ever that's melting.
Mhm.
I have a question.
Yes.
I
Are
might
either
have
of
an
you
answer.
coming? Are either of you coming to Star Wars Celebration or any of the conventions in Southern California this
I don't know. I haven't actually looked much farther than.
year? Just wondering.
So yeah,
I'm
about
still in
that.
this like I'm still in like this weird like I'm not sure if I'm gonna like travel yet. Like I want to like things I can drive to. I might be better with right
Mhm.
now, but I'm still not into the whole like flying thing quite yet.
Sure.
Your arms are sore.
Yeah. My wings haven't came back. They were clipped.
Yeah.
She's still not over the fact that a bug went straight into her eye, flying that high.
Ah!
She's got post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay, it's a sensitive topic. Leave her alone.
Come on. I can't yet.
It's super
wings
hard
haven't gone.
it's super hard to travel that way anyway for cosplay.
No.
How do you get on a plane? I can't. I don't think I could even really do it very well because
You have to
bow.
adjust to what you're doing the weekend. Usually my biggest like weight is my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's why I get my bow and quiver and arrows and stuff. Like I'm worried
Yeah,
that
see that would
TSA would break
be.
it.
I did do a guitar one time, but I knew I was going to be flying to this convention, so I made it in like pieces so it would come apart. But it still took up most of my luggage. So then like that was like a big thing.
Mhm.
And then I had to make sure the other 2 cosplays for the weekend were not as prop heavy.
Sure.
So I've done a lot of conventions where I've flown to them. So
If
I got pretty good at it.
I feel like just taking a page out of Russ's book. He had informed me that if I ever get to that point, mail it to your hotel or mail it to a buddy that you know is reliable, which is sometimes hard. People can be shady. And that way your stuff is already there for you when you get to the con, and then just mail it back home.
I have Double Take Cosplay did that with his armor for his Iron Man armor.
Yeah.
And then they couldn't find it.
Yeah.
So
that's why I said shady.
I think that would scare me more than anything. Like
right, it got delivered to the
mailing
wrong hotel or something, if I remember right. It was some really odd circumstance.
But like, yeah. And at the same time, like, who's to say that the hotel is going to hold on to it? Because they will, but maybe.
Yeah. But if I ever come to Seattle, I'll just ship it to you.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
And then we can connect or something, or if I come to Colorado Springs, right?
Yeah.
Careful.
Too easy.
Or even if you go to Denver, because that's
Denver.
only an hour drive.
Boom.
Seriously. It's super
Aim
close.
high.
Aim high. Ha, ha, ha. Mile High Club.
See, I can.
I mean, technically
When
just
it-
living here
when
is
I-
part of the Mile
when
High
it
Club.
got- when it got real
It's like,
quiet,
yeah.
when it got real quiet, because I'm looking up the notes on Messenger. It got real quiet. I thought maybe something froze. I look up and I see both people looking at and I'm like, oh, okay, just bad joke. Got it. Fair enough. Oh my god. Well, okay, life updates. Shit, man, so much crap. It's so funny that you bring that up because okay, so I'm about to move again. Because we just closed
Oh,
on
you
a
bought the
house.
house.
Yeah, bought a house. So there's that.
Right.
Rewind the clocks back. Officially got married. I'm officially married to Ruby Echo. We had a small
Congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Had a small ceremony and it was kind of hilarious. And we just promised ourselves that the big ceremony would happen later because I bought some stuff that would be a part of my outfit for the wedding. And now essentially I'm not going to get any opportunity to use it. So, Andrul, Flame of the West, born for the flames of Nacia. I have to say that every time because it's me, and Lord of the Rings is like my favorite thing. I finally bought the sword. I was telling my groomsmen, hey, I want you to be my groomsman, and it's Lord of the Rings themed at the wedding. And one of them goes, "Oh, we're doing swords. The groomsmen have to do swords. You don't get an argument in this. You're getting your sword, and I'm getting Gandalf's sword. That's what's happening." He sits there, starts literally looking for the best deal on said sword online. I'm like, well, I guess I gotta fucking do it now. Don't get me wrong. I'm glad I finally have it to my sword collection, but also. Now I just have a wall hanger.
Because you're not going to do the big ceremony, you said?
No, we will, but it'll be until next year. Sometime next year, because we're still doing our honeymoon pending not only COVID restrictions. They're supposed to be lifted by March, so we'll see what happens. But also because Russia's a dickhead. Pending air travel
you're going to
restrictions. Well, we're going to Scandinavia.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
I'm sitting there
You'll be
going,
alright.
So if we have a war and stuff,
I'll be fucked.
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So we're eyeing it. I'm just sitting here going. I had a sliver of hope when one of the cities in Russia was protesting. They're like, "Fuck you, we don't want this. Ukraine deserves to be its own country. What are you doing?" You know what I mean? I'm just like, good for you. That's awesome. But yeah, I'm like, oh my God. And Sweden did an update on Instagram to let people know about travel restrictions. A lot of the airlines are at this moment making sure to avoid Ukraine and Russia, especially I think 100-mile radius around those countries. So
Yeah.
any and all travel.
I ordered a Valentine's Day gift in January and
Oh, I
didn't
haven't
know
got
it
it
was
yet.
in Poland when I ordered it, and it went to Ukraine. It sat there for 3 weeks. It's finally in New York as of
Oh,
today.
thank God. I thought you were about to say
I was wondering why I hadn't seen it yet, so
It
I
was-
appreciate it, though.
it was on that plane that got bombed. Fuck.
I was like, oh, because especially because I wasn't really paying attention because
Yeah,
I don't really pay attention to current events,
sure.
nerdy current events somewhat, but not like big current events until they become huge, and then I can't,
Avoid them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, I heard something about it and I was like, wait a minute. And then I looked up in my thing and it was sitting there in Ukraine for a week by this point. And I was like, oh God, it's never gonna make it here.
Seriously. Yeah, it feels like there's been a ton of life events, one after another, in the beginning of this year alone. And I'm just, all of a sudden I find out that Emerald City Comic-Con will be in August. And I have had a couple of people hit me up and they're like,
Really?
You're gonna go? And then I go, in August? And they're all like, yeah, in August. And I go, well, if all things go according to plan, I'll be in Scandinavia in August. So let me think about this. What do I want more? I had to be a little salty because it's Emerald City Comic Con, and sometimes ECCCCCCC can be a dickhead, and I'm just like, it's so much stress. I'm like, I'd rather pick a once in a lifetime opportunity in another country.
August 18th to the 21st. I just looked it up.
Nice.
Gotta
Well,
put that on my schedule.
good luck for them. I'm not attending, pending how everything goes. But yeah, so I was like, and then people have been talking about SakuraCon. SakuraCon's a good con, but whether it's the time and place of where I'll be, or just finances as a whole, I'm just sitting here going, I don't really have the money for this. Sorry, because all my money is going to certain things. So, and then once we're done with our Scandinavian trip and come home, the next big expenditure. So before I reveal this, I just want you to know that this is it's nerdy in the sense that it comes from John Wick, the first movie. So this is the dog tag from the puppy that is brutally murdered in the movie John Wick.
Do you have that?
We're getting a golden retriever when we get back from Scandinavia. And we were trying to think up names, and I decided I think the best bet to raise our first dog together would be a female. They tend to be a little less, crazy, well-mannered. And then we're like, yeah. And then we're like, well, shit. Now we have to rethink names, because we were going to name it Thor if it was a male, for kicks and giggles. I kid you not, because we managed to find someone on Etsy who does Mjolnir dog tags, and we were gonna do that Thor phone number on the background. It was gonna be awesome. And then we're like, okay, female. So what are we gonna do? And Ruby Echo was like, why don't we say Daisy? I'm like, oh my god, yes. But here's the reason why I say this. And I told her about John Wick, and she goes, well, good. Now we know you care about this dog so much that if anybody hurts Daisy, you'll go on a rampage and kill everybody. I go, yeah, exactly. So don't fuck with my dog.
Interesting. I helped a buddy move a couch today, and they had named the people that we went to get the couch from. Their son, is like maybe 6, 7, right there. They named him Odin.
Nice. See, Odin's a good, strong name.
I like that name.
Yeah, but we wanted to get the dog tag just because of.
I get it.
Yeah, but Odin's a strong name for sure.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, I think that it's interesting.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, oh, you guys must be really into Marvel. Oh, we love Marvel. I'm like, well, you gotta.
Right. And then you'll get those tryhards, American Norse pagans, who are like, so it's not because you're pagan. Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, I've had quite a number of life updates, and there was this moment where there's a lot of stress that comes into buying a home, as I'm sure you two know, because I am new to this. The house that I had was on post housing, so I was fine when I was in Fort Bragg. I was just easy in, but getting a house can be really challenging. And all of a sudden I realized that Uncharted came out, was it last weekend? And Scream, I wanted to see the new Scream movie, and I'm just looking at all these movies and I go, holy shit, we haven't been to the theater in a long time. And Ruby Echo, she just goes, I'm not even thinking about what movies are coming out. I'm more concentrated on getting a house right now. I was like, which is fair.
Are you staying in the area? You're where you live now, close by?
We are very lucky to find something in Bothell. Because of Google, Microsoft, and because of Amazon, the price about housing has changed. I mean, a lot of houses in Seattle are going for $1 million. And now in Kirkland, which is not too far from where we are now in Bothell, $1 million homes, because of Google people and Microsoft people and Amazon people deciding to live there. So the prices go up. We managed to find a home in our price range, and we were very lucky to obtain it. Gorgeous neighborhood. Just it's so fantastic. We're super excited to move in, but we unfortunately have to wait a month, for everything to be done.
escrow.
Yeah. So a lot of really cool stuff, and I think that once everything dies down, I'm going to be racing to the movie theater like there's no tomorrow, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't get to see. But until then, things have come out on streaming. We watched The King's Man. I don't know if you guys have gotten a chance to
I
see
want to
that.
see that.
It was actually really good. A really good storyline. Kind of drags out a little bit because it's a little over 2 hours long, but I will not deny that I'm not the biggest history buff on World War One. World War Two, I mean, there's a lot of romanticizing it, so there's a lot of desire to learn about it. Yeah, I didn't realize that World War One essentially was started because three cousins wanted to have beef between one another and wanted to challenge each other, essentially, and that plays a part in this movie. And I'm just like, we had World War One because these cousins are assholes.
No, usually an asshole is usually the reason for these things.
Yeah.
So it's set before the other movies, right?
Oh yeah. It's essentially the creators
Quite a bit
letting
before.
you
That's what I
know
thought.
how the
How it got
organization gets started. Yeah.
Yeah. I love the other two. I thought they were great. So
Oh yeah. In fact, now I really want another Kingsman movie, and I want it to be based on World War II because I want to see that age of weaponry and advancement in technology happen. Because that was one of the cool things about the other two Kingsman movie was the gadgets that kind of ended up playing a part in it. So I'm like, please do that. That'll be so cool. And then of course, to bring up an awesome Disney movie, my wife, I get to say my wife. Anyway, that's how you know I'm finally happy. She did the toddler thing with Disney movies. You know how whenever there's a good Disney movie, Pixar movie that comes out, the kid wants to watch it on repeat over and over and over again.
right.
Yeah, Ruby Echo did that with Encanto.
We don't talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno. That's right. She watched it a total of 6 times within 1 week. I think
I haven't seen it yet.
That's it. Since Cosplay. That's fucking awesome. How many times have you seen it, Cosplay Jenamie?
Usually that's like 6
Painful laughter.
6 times in a day.
She puts it on as background noise for her
she lost her
homework.
mind.
You know, I've seen the movie a lot.
Yeah.
Or at least it's been in the background a lot. But I've listened to the soundtrack. Well, 4 songs from the soundtrack every time I get in the car with my children.
Out of
the car on the,
because you want to, or because the kids want it?
oh, it's them. I mean,
okay.
I like it. Don't get me wrong, but I cannot listen to that myself every single time. But I mean, I love the movie. It was great, fantastic, amazing movie.
Yes.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh,
you haven't seen it?
You should. You really should.
I know.
Give
I know.
yourself a chance. For
I just put
like,
myself
don't
in
you have
timeout and for not seeing it yet.
You know what? Turn around.
Oh, you know what I did watch though after our yeah.
How have you
After-
like done the internet lately and not have seen that?
But I did watch the one that we talked about in the chat, that Tinder Swindler.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
That's really
That was crazy. Now, I didn't watch it, but my wife told me literally every detail because she's into that kind of thriller. So to see this documentary, she wanted to watch it. She told me all about it, and I'm just sitting there going, whoa, the guy's still around on Tinder.
yep.
Yeah. He went to
That's the
he's
part
been to
that
jail
makes me
twice
so
and he's
mad
still getting
because
away with
I've
it.
watched both now, the Tinder Swindler and Inventing Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Same type of people
Yeah.
where they're basically, you know, stealing money from one to like get
Pyramid
their life
scheme.
going
Yeah.
to give to another person.
Right.
She went to jail.
Okay.
Yeah.
He did not.
He did, but not for very long. He's been to jail twice.
But you know,
It's
still
crazy. But
is
not
out.
for long, not
I mean,
long
she's
enough.
out now, but
That's
she was still-
insane.
Yeah. He went to jail not for what he did to the women, but he went
yeah,
to
he
jail
didn't go to
because
jail for what he did.
they got a fake ID and got the fake passport. That's what they ended up getting
Yeah,
him for,
he
but not for what he did to
yeah.
all those women. Piece of
And-
crap.
Yeah, and they still owe all the money. Like
Yep.
the
Yeah, that one blew my mind. It's like I was watching. I'm like, I don't want to watch any more of this. I do too. I gotta watch this. I gotta see how it is. Like crazy.
Like watching it and you're just like, oh my God. And then you get to the end and they're like,
Yeah.
and he's still doing it.
He's still doing it.
And you're like,
Crazy.
how? How has he not gone to jail? I mean, he has, but for different things.
Right.
How has Tinder not like disactivated his account? I mean, like,
There's
The last thing I saw is Tinder did kick him off. There was, I don't know where I saw that at, but he's got a new girlfriend. You see all that? Like,
yeah.
yeah, sure. I mean,
Crazy.
I guess some people deserve a chance at some sense of redemption. I
No.
guess.
no,
No,
he's
he
a piece
didn't
of
learn
shit.
anything.
I say with my
You know-
facial expression, like,
Yeah.
Okay, so how
Um,
about this nerdy thing that I watched?
okay.
Peacemaker.
Oh, yeah.
So-
that was fun.
I did
I
not
like
get
that.
I didn't get a chance to watch that show. But what I
Oh,
was-
it's so good.
I was unfortunately spoiled to the Justice League bit, and I was like, fuck yeah, that's awesome. Of course, it was also a little sad though, too, because if you note, both Wonder Woman and Superman are more shadow silhouette as opposed to Ezra Miller and Jason Momoa. And it begs the question of what's happening with them, because we don't have confirmation. I'm sorry, nobody can tell. The studio hasn't released any information about whether or not Henry is going to continue playing Superman, period. Although we do have reports of this meeting will end in 10 minutes. Well, fuck you.
Oh, I see
was
that.
like,
Remaining meeting time, 9:53, 9:51.
Talk fast.
Better hurry.
Talk
You gotta
fast.
go.
Right. No, yeah, it's kind of indicative because we don't have any confirmation about what's happening with these actors. We know that there's plans to apparently bring in Supergirl instead and do all this stuff when Ezra Miller's Flash movie does Flashpoint. So, but
I think did you get the call to be one of the Wonder Twins? I did. Wonder Twins.
Wonder
Anybody?
Twin, no, I mean, I know who the Wonder Twins are.
I
but
know who they are.
yeah,
Yeah, you didn't get the call, Cosplay Jenamie? You didn't get the call? I thought we were going to be the Wonder Twins in that. Anyway, I digress.
I'll take it. Let's do it.
Another TV show that I've actually
Just
been
like.
really getting into, Reacher, which was
Seen it? Is it good?
it's really good. It's very surprising because the actor who plays Reacher, the only thing I can see him in is Thad Castle from Blue Mountain State. Mr.
No, I haven't seen that.
Like he screams, he's very big, stupid linebacker is what he is, right? And then all of a sudden, he's fucking the mountain man of Reacher, and I'm just like, whoa, the stark difference here. And he was perfect. And it is one of the roles where he actually read the books. So going into the role, he knew what was going to happen, what to do, how to portray it. So that's really good. But yeah, I was blown away with that show.
I got to watch that one. There's just so much to watch.
There's so much to watch. And there's so much for us.
I just watched Wolf Like Me. That was freaking awesome. Don't know if any one of you heard that.
It sounds familiar, but I don't think I'm familiar with Wolf Like Me.
It's a werewolf thing.
Well, I would rightfully assume. Like,
I mean, it could have been like just a regular.
Sure.
I don't know why that was. I was moving my nose in my head, but nobody could see it.
We're here for it.
It was not what I thought it was going to be at all, but I really got into it.
Yeah.
Is it a series or a movie?
It's a series.
Okay.
It's on Peacock.
Something else. It's on what?
It's on Peacock.
Oh, Peacock. Okay.
I don't have Peacock,
An app
that's
that
fine.
actually works. Speaking of apps that actually work, I really want to watch Halo, the Halo series, but I can't because the Paramount Plus app just doesn't fucking work.
Really? I don't have any trouble with my Paramount Plus.
I don't know. Maybe it's just
I
my
haven't
TV.
watched
Who the
anything
fuck
on
knows?
Paramount Plus in a while, but
You know,
movies
there were
that
Peacemaker?
I've seen
Oh, that's on
recently. I
HBO
watched
Max.
the 355.
the 355. I don't know what that is.
7 minutes left.
Okay, so that's got like the name. Okay, so George Washington, was it George Washington? He was supposed to have
Oh, I know that guy.
a spy, and it was a female spy. I think it's George Washington.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I wanted to see that, but I didn't get it.
And then you know, so they never knew her name.
Yeah.
So she was always called the 355. Well, this is kind of not based on that at all, but they use the name because it's all women spies from all different countries.
Oh, okay.
And so they all finally have a common enemy, and so they're grouping together and they're calling themselves the 355 after the
Nice. And it was good, I'm
story.
assuming. Yes.
It was really good. Like, I
Okay.
really enjoyed it. And I don't generally like, spy military movies type
Sure.
thing.
Because
But
they'll
I
always
really
fuck
enjoyed it.
something up.
Yeah, oh god, yes.
I've been watching Daredevil finally. I'm in season 2 of that. I'm late to the show on that. Excellent series.
Welcome to the room.
Yeah.
He just watched things.
We got a little over 5 minutes.
I see that. What the heck you do?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to
He
check
didn't
the
pay for
billing. I brought out the sword for one specific reason. Lord of the Rings, The Ring of Power, with all the trailers that we've got. Are we excited? Are we worried?
I'm
Let's
excited.
go around the table.
I'm
Excited.
excited. We just threw it out. We're going fast.
It's easy. We only got 5 minutes.
My response to it is I'm interested to see how they're going to do this. So I was watching people who are basically gatekeeping jackasses talk about Lord of the Rings, and then people who are more positive bring their information to the table, and they are equally quoting Tolkien, and it's totally fine. But the thing that fascinates me the most out of all of this, they're confirmed for 6 seasons, but the second age, which this is all based off of, is literally everything is over the span of 3,000 years. So the question is what, you're gonna have a human character that's on screen for like 10 minutes and then his funeral's right next? Like, how are they playing this
That's what they
out?
did in Game of Thrones.
I really want to know how this is gonna work. But no, it looks beautifully well done. I'm interested to see how it plays out, but I won't deny there's some worry, but my wife put it best. Even if the Amazon show tanks and they do a horrible job, just remember, no matter what happens, we still have Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. It's timeless. It's perfect. There's nothing that needs to be changed to it. And if you don't like the Amazon series, just go watch Lord of the Rings and be a happy camper. That's what I have to say.
That's kind of where I've always been. Like, when there's new releases of like the same thing, or even when they expand onto some universe of some description, and everyone's like, well, they're gonna ruin it, and I'm like, it doesn't ruin the originals. The new never ruin the originals. The originals are still there and they're awesome. If it's good, great. If it's not, it's just a bad movie and we move on.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't ruin anything.
Well,
so I'm always excited for new things, a new way of seeing something. If it's good,
Absolutely.
great. If it's bad,
I go in with the whole, am I entertained factor? Like, did I enjoy
Yeah.
it? That I was entertained by it? And then if I was, then cool.
Yeah. I
It was
mean,
exactly the way I envisioned it, but
yeah.
I mean, just like Serenity never exists in my brain.
Yeah. There's always 2 pieces of logic I always bring to the table. First, if it sucks, just go show love to the first one, which, I mean, technically speaking, is exactly what happens. No one liked the Michael Bay Nightmare on Elm Street, but when you look at the online digital sales for the original Nightmare on Elm Street, they went through the fucking roof. Like, that's what happened. So, and then the other thing I always bring up to the table is look at Shakespearean plays. You always have new actors and a new way of doing something. Someone wants to bring something to the table. You never hate that. This is the movie version of that. Another actor wants to come in and try their hand at said role and perform. So give them the chance. They might impress you. And if they suck, just go watch the other one. But don't hate on that actor for wanting to portray a role that they've watched since they were a kid and wanted to do it themselves. Boom.
I agree.
yeah,
Yeah.
like Wonder Twins, something I always wanted to do. So
Yeah. So you're gonna rope Cosplay Jenamie into this?
I'm totally gonna rope her into it. At some point, we're gonna do this.
I'm in.
I'm gonna title the episode off of that. Rope Cosplay Jenamie into this. It's got a lot
Just
of
do rope cosplay Jenamie. You'll get a whole lot of different audience on that one.
hashtag Ukraine, hashtag updates, hashtag new season, and people are gonna be like, "What?
What?
Yeah." Well,
Hashtag cover girl.
it's indicative. What was that first season? It was like the first or second episode with the Batman tentacle porn. Remember that?
Yep, I do. Unfortunately, I do.
I'll never forget that episode with Jake. J4 props, if you're listening, we love you. That was fantastic. It was one of the best Geek Boots memories to date. Now I have to go re-listen to that episode to remember exactly what he said. But yeah, we were talking about consent matters at a convention, and hentai stuff ends up happening at a convention. And then you have a kid who apparently knows about this stuff. And J4 made a hilarious comment about that. And it was too good.
Yeah, I was working at the anime convention in Wisconsin, I think. And this kid, like 14 or 15, came through with like a hentai mask. And he's like walking with his dad.
And on that note, because we're on our final minute, make sure you check out first season and go see that episode if you have no idea what the hell we're talking about. Thank you for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll figure out what the fuck happened with the billing and make sure these episodes are longer. I am your host, Tom Cruise, representing the Army. With me, as always, my lovely co-hosts, Trevor, aka Hawkeye.
Hey. Good to see everybody again. Glad we're back.
Cosplay Jenamie.
Hey. I got scared. Sorry. It was
me. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you potentially next week, unless Russia bombs something and nuclear waste goes everywhere.